Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. So this is a really highly requested video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna give my honest opinion on the Knicks without trying to be entertaining, without trying to be funny or make you laugh. I'm gonna be just straight up what I think about the Knicks at this point in time. So I have two mindsets going into this, and the first mindset is I want Carmelo Anthony to stay. The reason why I say that is because I don't want to lose our only hope of ever winning a championship. I don't want to lose that. Okay? But from a Melo fan's point of view, I want Melo to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So what would be best for the New York Knicks? It's damn near too late already. So the best option would be to obviously either buy out, which would be stupid because you're not going to get anything in return, or you can trade Carmelo Anthony for Kevin Love. That is the most logical solution to this. Melo wins because he might win a championship. You get a solid big man, not solid, you get a superstar caliber big man in Kevin Love. You still have KP. You're probably going to keep Derrick Rose and Courtney Lee. You got to buy out Joakim Noah. You're not going to get anything from buy him out or waive him. Do something. So, what about the future? What do I think about the future? Here's the thing. In order for this team to stand a chance in terms of attracting free agents, I said this before. In order for this team to stand a chance in terms of attracting free agents, what we need to do, and the reason why I say we is because if you guys don't know, if you're new to this channel, I'm a Knicks fan, so what we need to do is completely cut everything down and rebuild. It's as simple as that, because Phil Jackson made the environment so toxic. And I was watching ESPN First Take, and what's that dude's name? Will Kane had the audacity to sit there and say Carmelo Anthony sabotaged Phil Jackson. How the hell did Carmelo Anthony sabotage? Look, this is Melo being a leader, and the one time where he does it publicly, people get upset. Look. You want to see good leadership by Carmelo Anthony? While he was getting criticized, disrespected by Phil Jackson, he still went there day in, day out, not missing any games, going and playing his heart out. He would still show up every single damn game. He still showed up. That's leading by example. You want to see other leadership? When Kristaps Porzingis praised the disgusting triangle offense that does not work anymore in this shooters league, Carmelo pulled him to the side and said, yo, no, that's not the way to go. But now people want to criticize Melo because of that? That doesn't make any sense. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So, the most logical solution to all of this. We already fired Phil Jackson. If Jeff Hornacek is our coach next year, I'm not watching any games. Fire Jeff Hornacek. I've never seen a head coach with so many bad rotations, so many bad in-game situational decisions. I've never seen a head coach so bad adjusting to a game in the game. His rotations don't make sense. His substitutions don't make sense. The plays that he runs don't make sense. He's just not a good coach. He's not a good coach. Okay? And obviously I already know what people are going to say, but look, who's going to work for the Knicks? That's the thing. Is now, who are we going to go get, So like I said, we just have to break everything down, trade Carmelo Anthony, get whatever the hell we can get out of him. If we get Kevin Love, fine. Take Kevin Love. Put Kevin Love and Kristaps Porzingis. Kevin Love's a low post scorer. He'll give you 26 points per game easily. The only reason why he's averaging 20 now is because obviously LeBron and Kyrie. You take that down, he'll give you 26 or 30 points per game easy. Okay? Now, I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs because the Knicks are, 2-17 without Melo for the past 2 years, and it's even worse if you want to go farther back. Let's be real. I think the record's something like 7-39 or 41 or something ridiculous like that without Carmelo Anthony. That's how bad the Knicks are. Okay? So, that's the most logical solution to our problem right now, is to go ahead and trade Carmelo Anthony. But now the thing about Kristaps Porzingis, what do we do with Porzingis? Because if you look at it from a logistical standpoint, from a common sense standpoint, Carmelo Anthony is the greatest Knick the franchise has ever seen in terms of talent and skill. He's the greatest player the Knicks organization has ever had. Bernard King was great. Walt Clyde Frazier was great. Patrick Ewing was great. They're all great. But in my opinion, Carmelo Anthony, skill for skill, talent for talent, is the best Knick ever. Okay? So we have the best Knick ever. And we had someone disrespect him so much during the regular season. And the owner of the Knicks organization just stood there and watched. Just stood there and watched. Okay? So if they do that to the greatest player the Knicks have ever had, the greatest moneymaker the Knicks have ever had, are you going to sit there and tell me they're not going to do that to Kristaps Porzingis? So that's probably what's going on in his mind. He's probably thinking, if he did it to Melo, they're going to do it to me. Okay? So it doesn't make sense. It was just an embarrassing season. Okay, with Charles Oakley, that incident. You had the incident with Melo. It was just complete embarrassment. Complete embarrassment. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and say Phil Jackson was absolutely terrible. He did nothing. He did some pretty solid stuff. You know? Besides, obviously, the negatives outweigh the positives, but he still got us Derrick Rose. Okay? That's a solid piece. I don't agree with Joakim Noah, but he tried. We still got Courtney Lee. That's a solid piece. Okay? Get rid of Joakim Noah. Get 2 more role players for him. Okay, you're probably not going to get anything from a trade for him, so waive him or buy him out. Do something. You got Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, we got all of this, but we just don't have the coaching. We don't have. You ever notice? Here's the thing about Carmelo Anthony that a lot of people don't know. The only way you know this is if you've watched him for a long, like over 10 years, like I have before he was on the Knicks. Something about Melo is his name describes his personality. He's mellow. Like Carmelo is literally mellow. Pun is intended there, right? So he's a chill person. But you can tell by the way his facial expressions are sometimes. He doesn't get angry or anything like that, but you can tell by his facial expressions and sometimes his effort that what's going on is absolutely disgusting him. And I saw a lot of that this season. I saw a lot of that this year. Okay? He had a great year, man. A really good year. At one point, he was averaging 25 points per game again. That was back in February. He had 6, 7 straight 30-point. He was dominating. That 45-point performance against Atlanta, he would have had over 50 if he didn't get fouled out by a BS foul where your hand was on the back. Whatever. Right? But the thing about the future of the Knicks is that no one wants to come here. No one's going to want to come here. And this brings me back to my point that I've made in a few videos before, is that the only way that this Knicks franchise is ever going to boom again like we did in 2012, 2013. Second best record in the East, Carmelo Anthony third in MVP voting, things like that. The only way this franchise will ever boom like that again is if one of 2 things happen. Kristaps Porzingis turns into a superstar player, and we build around him, give him solid role players. He's obviously going to need more than that, but you never know. He could become a Dirk. Who knows? Okay, Kristaps Porzingis turns into a superstar player, or we draft talent. We draft a star player, like how LeBron was drafted to Cleveland, how Melo was drafted to Denver, how Wade and Bosh were drafted to Miami and Toronto. Excuse me, the other way around, Bosh and Wade, because that's the order it went in, Toronto, and then obviously Miami, and Tim Duncan with the Spurs, Kevin Garnett with the Timberwolves. We have to get a superstar in the draft. Okay, and obviously, if you go through history, the chances of that happening are extremely rare because they're called once-in-a-generation players for a reason. Superstar players come every 3, 4, 5 years in the draft, and you also have to consider that you have to tank to get a top lottery pick, and then on top of that, not even just that, the chances of even having someone in the draft. Let's say you got the 10th pick, too late to get a star, unless you get lucky like Manu Ginobili or Kawhi Leonard, unless you get lucky. But that's the sad truth, man. So My honest opinion, trade Melo, send him to Cleveland. He deserves a ring more than anyone in the league right now. And we just got to get used to not making the playoffs for the next 10, 15, 20, 25. Let me see. Patrick Ewing, 1999. We went to the finals. We lost to the Spurs, I believe. 2000, whatever. And we were terrible for like till Melo came. And then obviously Phil Jackson came and ruined everything because Melo never missed the playoffs before Phil Jackson. It looks like we're going to be garbage for the next 5 to 10 years. Anyway, it's been your man, Steve. That's my honest opinion on the New York Knicks. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm out.